Good day, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. What am I afraid of? What's she up to now? Day 898, documenting the journey, and it's my personal journey as I transition from the brick and mortar world, the corporate world of corporate America. I spent over a quarter century in corporate America while simultaneously running my own businesses on the side in lots of different industries. I figure I've been in at least 27 different industries and businesses over my lifetime so far, over my career so far. I started my first business when I was about 13 and then had jobs and businesses, and sometimes I had businesses on the side, but when I got out of college, I pretty much always had a business or some business interest on the side while I was working in corporate America. And I was telling one of my coaching students last night that gave me a real sense of security, and it allowed me, or I allowed myself, or gave myself permission to truly be my authentic self as for the most part, as I showed up in corporate America. Later on in my career, more than earlier on in my career when I was just getting businesses going. But there's something about having that side gig, that thing on the side, that gives you incredible confidence because you know you always have something to fall back on. So today my question for myself is, as I'm doing my daily content, the Supersize Your Business segment was on buttering someone up, which is really a fun idiom to think about, because every single one of us, for the most part, at some time in our life, either have been buttered up or have buttered someone up or have been in a situation where somebody has been buttering someone else up and it's so nauseating we want to actually throw up. How many of us have sat in a classroom and there's a teacher's pet? They want a good grade, so they're buttering up the teacher, and it's just everybody in the classroom can see through it and can see the behavior, usually including the teacher, but sometimes the teachers just love it, right? Teachers don't get that many kudos, so teachers sometimes eat that up. People, human beings, sometimes eat that up. Sometimes we need attention, and if we're not getting positive attention, we don't care where it comes from. We want some kind of attention. So buttering people up, and that got me to thinking about the Get Up and Go challenge, which is something that I'm doing. And as I finish up my videos, the fun challenge today was day 189, so 189 days of that, 898 days of this. I guess over 500 episodes of Supersize Your Business and dealing and identifying the origin and the meaning of different idioms. What do they mean? And then how does that apply to your business? Because you might say, well, how does buttering someone up apply to my business? Well, every single idiom so far, I found ways to tie that into how you use that to build and grow and supersize your business. Because we can always find connections. Human beings are great at connecting things and connecting the dots. It's how our brains work. We are always looking for relationships and connections to things that we already know. So as I'm winding all this down today, I'm thinking about, well, what am I afraid of? One of the projects I'm working on is taking Get Up and Go and actually being consistent across the board with respect to that as a brand. And what am I afraid of in terms of moving forward with that and really building it up? And why am I resisting and holding myself back from doing that? And today, my challenge, my personal challenge will be to look at that, to look at what are my beliefs, what are my feelings, what are my thoughts around that whole aspect. Because in a lot of areas of my life, I don't mind going big or going home. But for some reason online, I have had this wall that I personally am not allowing myself to break through to do all the things that I already know how to do. And why do we stop ourselves from doing that? I guess that's my big question today. Why do I stop myself from doing the things that I know are in my best interest in certain areas and aspects of my life? And if I look at that and ask that question, I see patterns of that repeating itself over and over again. I stayed in a marriage, in a relationship far too long because I thought I should, and I thought it was easier and better for me and the other people involved in my life than blowing that up and making a change, until it got to the point where I couldn't live with myself any longer unless I made that change. I've stayed in jobs and in businesses too long, beyond the point of it being in my interest anymore. It's like, hey, I'm in this business, we've been in this business, it's clicking along, it's a great little business, but I freaking hate it. Have you ever had that feeling? Or I'm in this job, it was a great job. Yeah, I had a lot of fun at it for 3 years, but now I'm pretty much done. All I want to do with this particular position, this job, you know, what's next? Is there something next for me here? If there isn't, I'm out of here. I need to go do something else. I need a new challenge. So I want to look at that and look at that pattern of behavior, of staying too long, and ask and figure out for myself, why have I done that in the past, and am I doing that now, and what is causing me to believe that I need to keep this just small and super tight and super close knit, and only a few people get exposed to it, because that's really not fair, because a lot of people right now are struggling and need, absolutely positively need, to have a way of not struggling anymore, actually living their life in a way that feels good to them instead of in a way that doesn't feel good to them. So, you know, if I look at it that way, I'm cheating people out of the information that they could have that could make their life better. So who am I to cheat people out of that? And why do I think that I should? Or even, yeah, why do I think I even should do that? So I'm going to work through that today about what am I afraid of. And I'm going to do it specifically with respect to this Get Up and Go challenge, because I've been doing challenges for decades, literally decades of challenges. We all have. As human beings, guess what? If you're listening to my voice or seeing my face, you have been through thousands and thousands, if not tens of thousands, or even 100,000 challenges in your life, depending on how old you are. And you've overcome and succeeded in each and every one of them. We all have. So I've been on purpose doing challenges for decades. Why would I not want to teach other people how I do them and how I have figured out ways to make them actually work out for me? Most people see challenges and obstacles as devastating blows to their life and their ego. And they can be, but they only can be if we let them be. So I've had some big blows, and I always figure out a way to recover from them. And then guess what? Something else happens, because that's life. Life is all about us dealing with the experiences that come our way, that we encounter, to become the best version of ourselves, the best person we can possibly be. So I too am on that journey, and will be on that journey till the day I die. So why not share the wisdom that I've had along the way to help other people, number one, so they don't have to go through some of the trials and tribulations and BS mistakes that I have. And we do this with our kids. We try to teach our kids lessons that we've learned along the way, and we hope they get it. And sometimes we get this flash and this glimmer of light where we're like, oh my God, you absolutely positively have listened to me. But then we also see in our kids the same mistakes, the same hang-ups, the same challenges that we've had in certain areas of our life. We see them repeating those patterns in their life. And those are the things that I'm in the process of trying to break and say, okay, I need to shut down and eliminate this pattern in my life, because as much as I don't realize it's been going on, my kids have been seeing it, and they're seeing it at a subconscious level, and usually at a conscious level as well, more than we see things in ourselves. And so there's a couple of things that I've done in different areas of my life that I don't want my kids to repeat those patterns, if that makes sense. Anyway, that's it. That's all I've got today. Working on some personal development stuff today. Got some coaching calls. Got an accountability call today with my coach. And that's it. That's all I got to say today. I will be with you tomorrow, let you know what's going on, what I'm working on, what I come up with in determining what I'm afraid of. I'm actually going through Lynn Grabhorn's book. She calls it a playbook. Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting. And that's why it brings up all these things that, you know, most of us don't even think about. And I haven't thought about. Last time I went through the playbook was in 2011 after my sudden cardiac arrest. And I got so much out of it that as part of the Get Up and Go challenge, I decided I would go back to that. I would commit to going through that book again. So that brings up lots of personal development things that each and every one of us, me especially, want to be working on to make sure I'm showing up in my life as best I can. All right, have an amazing day. If you have any questions, if I can help you in any way, ask in the comments below. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow. Again, I was talking to somebody about some strategic things and some tactics and hacks yesterday that I'm going to look into today. And if I decide to do any of those, I'll let you know. I'll share those too, because I'm forgetting to share the tips and tricks and strategies for business growth and development that I want to make sure I'm sharing as part of this as well. All right, have an amazing day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow.